And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates at the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Crispy, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
Say bacon. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys help us make a better show for everyone. And as a matter of fact, that's what the intro is going to be about.
Yeah.
Making a better show for everyone.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you mind if I start?
No, go ahead.
We'll do this like a brief interview type deal.
Okay.
So Rachel's been editing our podcast for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's safe to say it's gotten tremendously better than the early days.
Thank you.
Sounds much better.
Yeah.
But there are still issues that we get from time to time.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't hear something during the game, and then afterwards it's very apparent during the edit.
Yeah.
I remember pen clicking and stuff like that, and
mm-hmm.
A trip to the bathroom one time, which was kind of insane.
That was not fun to edit. But things like a pen clicking, sometimes it can be hard to notice kind of innocuous noises like that, especially when you're in the moment and you're playing a game.
Yeah.
Because in real life, a pen clicking while I'm having a conversation doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, it's ambient.
But when I'm listening to the audio and maybe like playing back the same like clip several times.
Yeah.
Then I notice.
I imagine that's very not great. So recently we had an issue with a light. Which doesn't I know what you're thinking out there in the world. You're thinking like, how could a visual light affect an audio podcast? Well, there's a hum from the electricity.
Yeah.
So if a lamp or a fan or anything, even something that just has current going to it, like an amplifier, like when we used to have those old mics, with the power block.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you still have that, don't you?
Yes, I still have that. But I haven't had issues with mine.
Right. So. But those sitting next to a microphone, if the microphone gets too close to it, it'll cause a real loud hum. Mm-hmm. And in the moment, because it starts gradually and kind of hangs out, you don't notice it.
Yeah.
But if someone were to say mute their microphone and then unmute it, it would be very apparent.
Yeah. Then it's sort of the ambient light electronic buzzing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden is very noticeable.
It cuts in and cuts out. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to take a second to say thank you for all the crazy shit that you have to edit out, because that sounds complicated.
Uh-huh.
Can you give like a horror story of editing? Come on, you can literally just dig into us, all of us. Go.
There was an episode, it was a few years back, and I had a different program that I used for editing, and I had gotten it down like fairly well, where it would only take me like a few hours to edit a 1 hour episode, which now looking back on it, I'm like, that took way too long. But I felt like pretty good about how I was editing. But there was an episode I needed to edit, but also in real life, I had to go to a conference for work. So I brought my laptop and I was like, I'll do the conference during the day. And then in the evening, when I'm in my hotel room, I'll just edit. And it turned out that episode had like a really bad fan that it was like somebody's computer fan was picking up on the mic. And when you edit, you can kind of isolate a noise and then do a noise reduction where you say, look at this sort of audio signature. Now go through the entire audio file and scrub out whatever this signature is. But you can't get too aggressive with it because it'll
take out other notes.
Yeah, it'll take out people talking because the noise is also happening while people are talking. So I tried to do that, and then I realized very quickly that something about like the cadence or just the pitch of the fan was changing like every few minutes.
Oh no.
So I couldn't just take like this block of fan noise and apply it to the entire file. It was like every few minutes I had to look for a few seconds of us not talking so I could isolate the fan and then apply that to like the next few minutes of audio before the fan noise would evolve and change. And trying to get too aggressive with it, it like destroyed our audio because we also had some other audio issues at the time. And
I can think of those. I know which ones those are.
Yeah. And I remember this, I spent like my entire evening every night that I was at this conference. Like I would go to the conference all day. Stuff would be done by like 4:35. I would get like a quick dinner at the hotel restaurant, and then the next several hours I was just in my hotel room slowly editing like this audio file just inch by inch. And it was also when we were just starting to I was just starting to kind of cut episodes so that an episode was about an hour instead of our entire game session for that night.
Right.
But with that one, I was so frustrated with it that I think I just edited the entire
whole thing.
Yeah, I just released the whole thing because I just didn't want to deal with it. And I think like total it was close to like 8 hours. Like 8 to 10 hours of editing what was essentially a 2-hour episode. And even then I was so unhappy with how it came out because I couldn't completely scrub out the fan noise. And so I just wanted to get the entire thing out all at once. I didn't want to cut it up into 2 or 3 episodes because then that's 2 or 3 episodes of people listening where it sounds really bad. I just wanted just to rip off the band-aid of this horrible audio quality.
You make it sound way better than the audio sounds when you get it, for sure. For sure.
Thank you.
I know that I have to do very little editing in my day. I don't do a whole lot of editing. That being said, we all have things that we do in the podcast.
Yeah.
And when's the last time you had to stay up till 3:30 in the morning fucking with YouTube?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Never. I appreciate you.
Please. All of our I'm gonna be up at 3 in the morning anyway. all of our jobs have their issue, but I will say the editing side seems like the nightmare side. It seems harder than all of ours.
It is stressful. The episode
I did get turned into a fish tank one time.
Yeah.
I remember that pretty clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes things happen and I think we all can figure out what the justification was for it happening.
Yes.
But we won't talk about it.
Yeah. But it made problems.
Yeah, and it felt like it was like a sabotage is sabotage. I'm used to getting, attacked like that. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, this is on someone else now.
Yeah.
I sound stupid through this whole episode, but my voice sounds weird because we were doing independent tracks too. Remember the independent audio track thing? Remember the clap?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was not great because also on top of it being everyone had their own audio track, so you had to line them up to make sure that everyone was in sync, which did not always happen. There was also the issue of everyone recorded their own audio, so then you had to wait for everyone to submit their audio to
worst
the
idea ever.
Yeah, for anyone listening who is thinking of doing a podcast, don't do it like that.
Don't do it like that.
Don't do it like that. It's terrible.
There's nothing wrong with doing independent audio tracks.
Yeah.
On site.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
But recording your own audio just increases the chances something's going to go wrong by 4 times. Right? Yeah. It's just the worst. It was just a dumb idea executed with the the perfect level of craftsmanship that we've come to expect from a particular brand of creator. You know?
Yeah.
Jesus. I remember, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here, but I remember, because this is on my side, the kind of upload and like pushing the content at the right time to everywhere.
Right.
I remember before we had that system, I didn't know where the episode was. I didn't know who was uploading it at what time. We had episodes that were coming out of order. We had an episode that came out, and then a week later, a previous episode would come out. Sometimes 2 episodes would come out, and then it'd be weeks until I saw another one. Yeah. And I don't even know some of the places we were hosting it to. I knew none of the passwords. It was a fucking clusterfuck.
None of the many email addresses.
I always ask, like, when we're in a group, I always ask for like a vote, like a thumbs up from everybody before we make any big decisions. Yeah. Because that's responsible. When I saw how bad things were, I'm like, trust me on this one, I'm doing it. Just back my play. I didn't want to vote. I was like, I'm gonna fix this.
I remember like in my early editing days, like rushing to get an episode edited because I would get the audio file so late. And sometimes I would get the audio file literally hours before it was supposed to be uploaded. Oh my God. And so I would be like, all right, I have to edit now. Like, I have to edit. I have to stay up late. I have to go to
thing.
I have to go to work in the morning, but I have to edit. And also, I have to do this intro because the intro for it isn't done and can't be done until after the episode's edited. But I don't do this intro alone, so I have to wait for someone else to also show.
I admire your discipline in not saying names. That's very disciplined of you to say those things.
It was not a good time. And I was
the dark times.
I was not having a good time with the podcast at that point, I will say.
Well, I'd like to think that even though there are rough edges from time to time, it is vastly improved. And I hope that you guys hear it too. And this is why I always say, you guys that donate to the Patreon help us make a better show for everyone. I think sometimes, like, you repeat it enough times, you kind of loses what the meaning is. But the truth of the matter is, you guys donating to the Patreon allows us to assemble a better episode and to have it come to you guys clean. Do you know what I mean? We all have all our tracks together, levels balanced, everything is sort of clean, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you again. Right, first to Rachel, because you do all of the really technical shit, and good Lord, that look, I mean, I'm just saying the SEO and the ID3 tags and shit like that, nothing comparison to like trying to remove a fucking fan from behind audio. I don't even know how I would do that. If you held a gun to my head and said, make this sound better, I'd like pull the trigger, like, because it's done, right?
Yeah.
So thank you, Rachel, for all of that, and then also thank you to all the patrons out there who make it so that we can afford all the stuff we need to give you a better product.
Yes.
And for the people who donate, there are people out there listening who aren't donating, and I'm not trying to, like, shame anyone.
No.
But it would be cooler if you did. But the people who do, they're helping you get a better episode. So big round of applause for the Patreons.
Thank you.
And also to Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you to you. Say thank you to yourself.
I'm saying thank you to you.
To yourself.
Recognizing the hard work that I do.
Right. Namaste. Right. Anyway, thank you for kind of being disciplined in your name buffer. Like she didn't want to edit. She didn't want to edit the name out. That's why.
That's right.
She didn't want to edit the name out. So
This is editing on the fly.
Okay. Well, what's the name of the episode for this week?
So this is Return to Ravenloft, Season 2, Episode 11, Prophecies and Propositions.
That's a pretty cool name.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't me, though.
Wow.
Was it? I don't think so.
I don't remember.
That doesn't sound. That doesn't have the vibe.
Yeah.
The vibe of mine.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll see one of your suggestions soon enough.
It'll have buttholes in it. You'll know. You'll know. You'll know when you hear it. All right, guys.
All right, to the episode.
All right. Are we ready to game?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
believe so.
So we were short resting. That's what I have written down, David?
Yes.
Yes, you guys are resting that part of the night.
Do we
Um,
successfully short rest?
Why do you ask
do.
questions like that? He didn't say we didn't. Just assume it all went according to plan. Why are you trying to give us extra homework?
teacher.
Because
Well-
I'm the DM and I know how this
Did
works.
everyone show their work on the test?
I know
Like,
how
oh, come
when
on.
I DM, I know how this works because
But you're not DMing.
the party
Don't-
can lay down to take a rest and then something like interrupts their resting.
I let you guys get to finish your short rest.
Okay.
But the moment before you awake,
Uh-oh.
give me perceptions.
A
Flaming
flaming
perceptions?
skull.
Before
So, I believe Kaeviir is in his room, or in a room. Rayne's in there as well. Last we left off. Kess is in a room, and Victor's curled up in a corner.
Mm.
And then Rayne is in a room as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Reading through my contract
Mhm.
after I.
So
wake
did you
up.
rest at all?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And now you want perception checks.
We're not
Always.
passive, right? Or we're awaking.
No, go ahead and give me awaken.
Okay. Ooh. I am perceptive as fuck.
Want to bet?
Are you?
27.
I got
Alright.
34 total. Nat
Yeah.
20 plus 13
Ooh.
plus 1.
Motherfucker.
I got a 20.
Okay, so we got a
You're
34.
beasties.
A what? What was that, Nate?
27.
And then a 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so that's Kiss.
The
that's
DC
Rayne.
was 65.
What?
Shit.
Nat 20's auto success, right?
All right. One sec.
Not for skill checks.
Nah.
Shut up, Rachel. God.
You asked. That was phrased in the form of a question. You were asking, and I provided an answer.
I was asking the universe, aka the DM, which you are not. You don't know who you are in this game. She's like, I'm actually a player who's another player who's also a DM. Me and Rachel are gonna go full Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Over 5e
be-
rules.
Literally fucking 2 days in, we're gonna be fucking using silenced pistols to shoot each other through the bathroom door.
I was looking for some funny examples of like strange clauses in contracts.
Mhm.
Do you realize that within iTunes terms of service, there is 54.7? You also agree that you will not use our products for any purposes prohibited by the United States law, including without limitation the development, design, manufacture, or production of nuclear missiles, chemical or biological weapons.
With iTunes?
With iTunes.
By the way,
What did I just walk back into?
First off, iTunes
Like, I
is,
left for a minute to scold some children about that, and I walked back into nuclear and chemical weapons.
Yeah.
iTunes is barely capable of playing MP3s. So
Yeah, I don't know why that clause exists, but it
like,
does.
We only play AAC format now. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
ugh,
cool.
whatever.
All right. So yeah, I'm not holding my breath over nukes. I like how there's a spell called Expeditious Retreat that makes it so that you can escape from battle very quickly, right?
Mhm.
I've
But I
never
like to
actually known anyone to use that spell for escaping.
Yeah, I mean, I'd use it for all kinds of things, but I think that it's funny if you think of it as like a last minute getaway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like just we gotta take a quick vacation.
We're just gonna drive down to the beach for the weekend. Let's take an expeditious retreat.
Let's we'll rent part of a couple rooms at that expeditious retreat we heard about. Oh, why hasn't anyone ever thought of Airbnb? Where you rent a DM for the week.
I mean, such systems exist. I just don't think anyone called it that.
That's the name.
So you could snag that and trademark it if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Air D&D.
Dude, if I'd snagged every good idea I ever had, I would be busy all day snagging fucking the right things.
The DM does not look amused. The DM is listening to someone probably take a phone call right now, if I'm guessing correctly. Oh, okay.
No.
And that's when I realized the DM had pooped his pants, but was unsure of which direction to stand and lean. Forward was no good. He figured turning the lights off would make it easier to hide the poo-poo stains. He kept a stern look on his face.
No.
Maybe no one would notice.
Uh-oh.
He decided that very day that he would no longer attempt to execute the one cheek sneak.
Or lest he would end up with the one rump lump.
It's gonna be that kind of night. All right.
Not a word, Doodoo Bird, he said. Never, never more. I pooped one time up on the beach, but the water moved it towards the shore.
Oh.
The doo-doo float, the doo-doo sink, the doo-doo smell, the doo-doo stink. My doo-doo poems makes you think. That poo-poo is the cure. Doo-doo king or doo-doo sage, doo-doo scrivened on doo-doo page.
All right.
That's how I'm going to refer to.
Right.
That's how I'm going to refer to toilet paper from now on. That's the doo-doo page. Will you hand me that doo-doo scroll, please? We're out.
No, each of you in your rooms, you get to hear whispers coming from out on the main hall.
Can I tell what they say? With a 34?
Yes, actually. You hear the prophecy.
Oh, god damn it. I wasted a 34 on that.
To save the land from the final shadow, a new evil must be crowned in the blood of the first. And the whispers begin to get louder.
Kestrel is donning her armor and grabbing her stuff.
You notice Victor's not moving.
Walk over to him. Like, hey, did you die?
Nothing.
I'm gonna reach out and grab him by the shoulder and kind of shake him.
He's alive. He's just not responsive. Not moving at all.
Can I do a medicine check?
Sure.
Okay.
He has medicine, yes.
That is a 29.
Ooh.
As far as you can tell, I mean, he's healthy. There's nothing wrong.
Well, he's missing an arm.
Did his arm grow back?
That was a
No.
pre-existing condition. It's not covered under the Kestrel medical plan.
Nothing's covered under the Kestrel medical plan.
It's worse than the Adries.
care. I had Adri care for a long time, and let me tell you, they don't cover shit.
Dr. Kestrel, medicine woman.
Do you remember Sully? That white guy who was playing an Indian who they literally just acted like, because they put him on the beach for like a week and he got real tan and they were just like, that's fine.
Like Charlton Heston playing an Egyptian? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right. Do I know is anyone in a room that is like bordering any of the walls of the room that I'm in?
Sure. Rayne.
Okay. I'm gonna walk to the wall that I share with Rayne and kind of tap on it to try to get his attention.
I tap back.
You hear it. Yeah, you hear it.
Hey, your friend's not dead, but he's not waking up.
Do I know that Victor's in her room?
I don't know if you do.
I don't know.
No, he went to bed before everyone else.
Which friend? Who's dead? What's all that whispering?
The one with one arm.
All right, hang on. I'll be over there in just a second.
He would have knocked, but he can't.
Must suck if his other arm falls asleep, right? That he's got no way to do anything. I'll roll up the contract that I had on the bed. I was using it as a blanket. No, I'll go over. So we all hear the whispering, right?
What's actually up to talking?
Okay. So it's unmistakable what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the prophecy again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to draw my rapier and have that ready. As I go to the door, perception check. Is it like right outside my door, or is it just like filling the air all around me, no matter where I am?
It's coming from the main hall. The voices are getting louder from the main hall.
Okay. I want to crack the door open slowly to see if I can get if there's anybody outside. I'll make a stealth check because I think that sounds pertinent.
Okay.
Fuck. All right. It's a 13.
You guys all hear his door crack as he opens it.
Anybody out there?
Sorry, let's work.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I like how ever since I offered him employ, he has not passed a roll on his own without a help check.
It's the curse of Kaeviir.
I like to imagine that this is how I get everyone to sign my contract. I just make them fail rolls until they're like, "Oh my god, he's a good luck charm."
Along with the help ability, you also have hinder, which just makes everyone roll at disadvantage.
Well, yeah, I actually do. It's the fucking what's it called? Check portent rolls.
If you're if you're not within 30 feet of Kaeviir and you do not have line of sight on him, you have disadvantage on all of your checks.
You know what I've noticed? That when you play a fantasy character, you oftentimes play things that you wish you could be in real life. Mm-hmm. And my character has 2 portent rolls, the help action to get double rolls on things, and the lucky feat. I just want a second chance. I just want to sit in my chair and it not be broken.
I just want to bat 500.
Look, my character is literally lucky. That's his character spec. Professional could be called Luckster, and it would be the exact same
thing. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Work. I got a tech on site.
Okay.
For some Godfrey. Go for it.
God. No, go ahead.
What happened?
Not some godforsaken reason, Caltrans has authorized Friday night paving on the most dangerous night of the week. So
Uh,
his low time got pushed back another hour.
mhm.
So
Well, as long as nobody dipped their balls in the asphalt, you're okay. For now.
That's how you have to sign it, right? So they know who did what work.
That's how you. That's akin to you writing your name with the stick in the cement.
Yeah, it's like out in front of the Chinese theater. You know what I mean?
all right.
They have hands,
hand,
feet.
foot. What the hell is that in the middle?
What's that in the middle? It's Lance Armstrong just has one solid. I'm sorry. Look, I wouldn't make fun of him as much about having one ball if he didn't cheat.
And if he wasn't generally despicable.
I liked the idea that the reason he lost one of them is because he was wearing a Livestrong bracelet around it. It just cut off the circulation.
I just find it funny, like if you were to go do a tour of like, Grumman's Chinese theater, and it's like, and here you can see the mushroom stamps of the stars. Here's Cary Grant.
He did it when it was still actually when everything had already turned hard.
Here's Fred Astaire. Here's B. Arthur.
B. Arthur. Oh my God.
That old joke.
Gross.
Here's Milton Berle. You'll notice it goes around the corner of the building.
Yeah, it starts up here with his hands and ends over there at the pickup line.
All right. Are we? No.
No, we're good.
We have got.
No, Nate's got something.
Nate has something now. We have 45 seconds of gameplay at this point.
Woo! We're burning up this recording. All right. Well, I'm tired. Night, guys.
All right. So I botched a stealth. Well, I didn't botch a stealth roll, but it was not very good.
You botched it.
Yeah.
So
what do I see? What do I see in the hallway now? Have I scared everything away?
Not this hallway, more like towards the main like grand halls. Now you can tell it's not like in the hallway, it's actually the grand hall and the noise is coming down the hallway.
Huh. Okay, I'm going to put a pin in that for just a second. We'll come back to that in a moment. I'm going to go over to Kestel's room and knock on the door.
I will open the door.
You didn't even ask who it was. You just opened the door.
I could hear you.
Oh,
you're so loud coming down the hallway.
Sorry. It's my pirate boots. So what? Victor's dead-ish?
He's not dead, but he's not waking up. He seems perfectly healthy other than the arm.
Yeah. So he's just unconscious?
I mean, he was talking earlier. But I tried to wake him up. It's not working.
Perception check to see if I pick up on any clues that someone may have come in the room while everyone was taking a rest.
Okay.
Man, I don't see shit.
That's the contract, bitch.
That's an 11.
Sign the contract, motherfucker.
That's an 11. My perception's a 10. You can do the math as to what I rolled. All right. Well, Victor's a lump. Where's Kevin?
I guess he took one of the other rooms.
Okay. Well, I assume that between the three of us in our current state, he's the one that knows the most about him. So, I'll start making my way over to the professionals room and see if I can stir him.
I'm gonna stay with Victor just because I don't know exactly where the voices are coming from, and he's completely helpless. So I don't want to leave him by himself, and then someone, sneaks in here and cuts his throat.
No one would hurt Victor. He's armless.
Oh Lord. So as Rayne enters the hallway, the voices are now at a shouting level from the other room.
Do I pass Kaeviir's room on the way to that hall?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll stop by his room first.
Okay.
Knock on the door.
Come in.
I'll open the door.
I'm going to be
I-
reading.
Relena's not moving as well.
I thought reading was for nerds.
Out of character. Also, you're not here. Also, canon. Shut up. Rachel. Come on. Breaking character. What's going on? Rookie move.
Hey,
I'm trying to make her so mad. She's only getting a little mad. I'll step it up. No worries. Yeah, so I'm reading. I'm just got my feet up on the table and smoking my pipe, book kind of held by the top, sprawled across my legs.
Two things. One, your apprentice appears to be unconscious in Kestrel's room.
Signed the contract yet?
I'm still reading through it, thank you. But
All right.
I'm getting there. I'm weighing my options. There's some clauses in there
Your options.
that bother me.
How'd that sneaking down the hallway go?
How did you know I was trying to sneak down the hallway?
I think everyone could hear you sneaking down the hallway.
Anyway, your apprentice is unconscious in Kestrel's room, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's shouting coming from the hallway downstairs. That prophecy thing that we keep hearing. You seem nonplussed. What?
Inert.
Inert?
Not unconscious. Inert.
You'll have to enlighten me on what the difference is.
One of them is natural. Unconscious is natural. People sometimes go to sleep. Sometimes they go unconscious. Sometimes they hit their head. They go unconscious.
Okay.
When you start hearing loud chanting from all around you and increasing in volume, and then multiple people across multiple rooms stop moving entirely but seem perfectly healthy, that's inert. Something is affecting them externally. They've gone inert.
So the chanting is having an effect on them, not on me, you, or Kestrel.
Boy, it would be a coincidence for those two things to happen at the same time, wouldn't it? And I'm gonna slam the book kind of loudly. I assume you need my expertise.
Yes,
I'm gonna,
as it were.
I'm gonna take a long drag of the pipe while I wait for the answer.
Yeah, because I'm not 100% sure what's going on. This does seem to be a little bit more up your alley.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I'm gonna put the pipe down, and I'm going to take out a piece of paper, and I'm going to roll cigarillo. Interesting. So you need my assistance.
Yes.
Got a light?
I probably can scrounge one up. I'm fairly certain I have the appropriate materials to do so.
I'm gonna say, wait a minute. I'm gonna reach into one of the cabinets. Oh, look. Pull out a set of matches. Close it.
Let me guess, you've been here before.
Been everywhere before.
Hmm.
We should get on that contract. I'm gonna stretch when I stand.
Oh my.
All right. How loud is the talking now, Ewok?
Shouting level.
Shouting. Is it centralized from a location? If I move closer to the door, does it sound more loud, or is it just like everything?
The main hall.
Okay. I'm going
where
to
the
walk
entrance is and all that area.
I'm not going to check with anyone. I'm just going to walk straight there confidently.
Okay.
I look back down the hall towards Kestel's room.
Do you walk in the? Go for it.
She's not coming.
I'll kind of be looking out the door.
Okay. I just kind of motion and go, he's going down.
Okay.
But I guess I'll follow him to see what happens.
It's only splitting the party if you're not confident enough to make them follow.
So, you just walk right out of the main hall.
Sure.
The dead bodies are standing like heads cocked and the gaping wounds, and their voices and lungs somehow with air shouting the prophecy over and over.
Okay.
And now that you've given them attention,
I'm
they
gonna
drop.
ready Oh, okay.
At that point, your vision, all three of your visions go black, and you see the land covered by mist around the borders. You see the centers and the middles of it, large clouds moving through, and then land begins to fracture more, and like the veins in the ground begin to separate, and um, more mist comes out of them until eventually it swallows the entire land and it disappears. And the next thing you know, the three of you are standing in a room. There's pillars from the floor that reach up to empty ceilings. Fog's only a few inches over ankle height. There's torchlights on the pillars. There's a broad, large table of burnt oak in this what seems to be the center of the room where the light's focusing. Candelabras light on the table, and there are no walls. It just seems like the darkness and the edges just go on and on, out away from the light. You do notice that a couple of the torches seem upside down instead of right side up on the pillars.
Is there anything on the table?
Just candelabras.
Okay.
How many pillars?
15 or so at least you can see. They kind of stretch out as the room continues in a darkness where you don't see any walls any which way.
Check just with a quick glance, is there any rhyme or reason for certain torches being upside down? Is it like a pattern or is it just random?
Random.
Okay. How many are upside down? How many are right side up?
Out of the 15 pillars you can see, 3 are upside down.
Okay. All the light is standard fire.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at 2 of the candles real quickly, is each flame independent or do they seem like the same pattern of flicker?
No, they all seem independent, and even the torches that are upside down, the flame actually licks down instead of licks up.
There we go.
It's like almost like a full gravity reversal.
Right.
Out from walking from the side through the darkness comes up. You actually recognize Dr. Midnight walking towards you guys.
Doctor.
Dr. Midnight is happy to see his friends.
What is this?
Where are we?
Dr. Midnight has not been here either. He does not know.
Oh, I thought it was a waiting room.
You see another person walking towards you guys. Small framed, an elf. The hair's kind of woven back, dreads down the back. Long machete on her hip. She's wearing like a violet tunic. She's like, this is new. None of you recognize her. Next comes walking up what seems to be someone more nobly dressed, a suit coat, kind of like a short suit coat, pants or trousers, boots, hair white and half back. You can definitely tell it's a vampire. Long katana on her hip. Kestrel, you actually recognize the Baron Alicio Metis of the Kagarat, also the ruler of Marturial Bay.
Did I get my because I was like getting my armor and stuff before we.
Yes.
So I have all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not drawing my sword, but I am gonna put my hand on my hilt. and keep a slight distance, but I'm watching her.
I'm going to ask the other two people if they know each other.
They look at each other, and the Baron, she's like, I don't know her, but I know her, and she points to Kess.
Hey.
The black jet armor. No one misses you, bounty hunter.
Oh.
You escaped me in Matura Bay.
Quick. Test.
These must be your friends.
All three of you. I'm going to point to Kess. I'm going to point to the Kagrat, and then the lady in purple. I don't have time to explain, but this will be a clue for you when we get out of here. Hands in. Hands in.
They walk over. The Baron puts her hand in. The other one kind of leans back. Never trust a man with a coat in that color.
I'm going to put my hand in as well. And I'm going to take a dagger out of my bag. I'm going to put a little scrape right in the corner of my hand where it won't cause any damage. It's just a little scrape, right? And I'm going to wipe the blade off, hand it to the vampire, and then say, hand it to the other person first. You go last. I'm going to hand it to Kess, and then to purple, and then to vampire.
What about Rayne?
All right.
Rayne, I mean, we're going to cover ourselves by doing this. I had to do it to myself because I needed to prove. It'll make sense. Trust me. If you want to cut your hand too, you're more than happy to. I just figured we'll cut the least amount of hands we need.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What does Kess do with a knife?
I'm going to gesture for you to cut your hand where I cut my hand.
I will make a small cut.
Same thing. Quick.
Mm.
We don't know how long we're going to be here. I'm saying to the lady in purple.
She takes it and cuts her hand and hands it off. Vampire does as well. Hands you your knife back.
I'm going to wipe it on my pant leg. When we're out of here, since we were all injured in here, when we get out, if we have the scratch still on us, it means that this wasn't some fantasy, right? You cut yourself with a knife that didn't exist in your world, right?
You do each of you notice that it doesn't hurt when you cut yourselves.
Right. So then when we're out of here, we'll be able to prove whether or not this was like some sort of brain walking kind of thing where we all met up in some phantasmal reality, or if we were literally transported somewhere. We'll be able to know that. And the fact that it was my knife that cut the other people's hands, they can prove that I was real when they get back if the scar's still there. All right.
Someone else comes walking in.
Oh, you
longer beard, a water ganase, older, a half cloak. Rayne, you recognize your uncle. Oi, lad. Strange bed folks you make these days.
The hell are you doing here?
I was about to ask you. What kind of trouble have you stirred up?
What makes you think I'm responsible for this?
Considering the Kagrat has a mark on you, your old ship captain has a mark on you, and they're both in here. He notions forward, and on the other side, you see a large of a brute of a man walking towards you slowly. One step at a time. Coat's half wet. Hair's soaked. Well, damn, Rayne. I haven't seen you in a typhoon.
Well, I see you've been keeping yourself busy while I've been away. How's my
Draga, salt biter at your
Hmm.
service. Everyone's kind of on edge now. Kind of everyone just kind of looking at each other.
Hmm. Well, now Kess isn't the only one who's having to hold themselves back a little bit.
Another one walks in. Red mask, black hood, a faceless mask. Average frame is rolling a coin with the symbol of ball on it. If any of you were actually from the Forgotten Realms, you'd recognize the emblem. Just kind of walking and begins to kind of just walk the edge more. Another one walks up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Walks up, and this one seems to be a shadow of our elf walking up with a mohawk laying over on one side, bone piercings down the ears. But you guys recognize the red veiny skin throughout this elf.
Hmm.
The red eyes, the dual voice.
Oh, it's
We meet again.
Oh. Didn't we kill you?
You can't kill a god.
not true.
You hear an echo from behind you as well, the last voice to show. Normally you would feel the cold of death as this thing walked by you into a room. You don't feel the chill of death though from it. But you do recognize Soth's voice as he comes walking into the room now, or this area. Everyone kind of meets gazes with everyone as all of you are there around the table.
So, is it safe to say that none of us here understand why we're suddenly rubbing elbows?
Soth, he motions to the upside down torches. There's only one fool in the universe crazy enough to play this game. Soak, show yourself.
Oh, I know this guy.
On the table forms what looks like a young child in a not a young child, but like between like 10 to 13 in a kind of a jester suit standing there looking at everybody. Hello. I hope everyone enjoys the party. I figured it was time you all met.
Why?
Because each one of you's here in the prophecy. Which means for some reason the Dark Powers decided to make one of you the new Dark Lord if you can pull it off.
One of us.
Someone in this room. You all hear the prophecy. Not everyone gets to hear it.
Not really into dark lording.
Neither was any of these. Did you ask Soth if he asked to be tormented by this Lermosithicus before he was? Did Draga sign up for it himself? No. He sulks below the waters. Draga throws a knife at Soak and it goes right through him and skits off the table and temper. I thought you were a tiger shark, not a bull shark. Bad boy. And he begins to skip across the table. So, now that you know the score, what are you going to do?
Nothing.
Well, you're no fun.
What can I do? I'm led to believe that what you'd like is for us to off the other people, the other candidates, so that the one that's left is the Dark Lord.
Oh no, this is too much. No, I don't want you fighting. The chaos you guys are going to create in this realm is going to be even better.
Right. So, right. Sort of like a.
He smiles.
We've met once before. Do you remember?
Oh, yes, quite. She was really angry then. That's why I wouldn't talk to her.
Hmm.
And him, I was still trying to figure out. But then the dark power said, no, he listens too. So there must be a darkness inside him, Mr. Trichet. And I'm not talking about the angry old one that likes to slit throats. You're shroud walkers. Fun. Oh, Soth is not impressed. Soth is annoyed.
Well, you'll get softer as you get older.
You hear a couple chuckles from around the room.
Oh, take it easy, big guy. You're real scary. We're all real scared.
You must be the professional.
My reputation precedes you.
It has. He looks to the other two. I apologize that I missed you the last time.
You've missed me more than once.
Only once that I know of. But from
Yeah,
what the stories say,
you really missed that first time. You smoke?
you see the flame in his eyes pop smoke out.
Touche.
Dr. Midnight did not think Lord Soth had a sense of humor.
Well, I don't know that that's confirmed yet. I'm just looking
Soth.
at him.
Yeah, Soth looks over at Midnight. Aren't you tired of wearing the facade? And letting this joker run around? Dr. Midnight does not know which joker you're speaking of.
There's so
Dr.
many good
Midnight
texts in this room.
Yeah. Dr. Midnight asked Soth to let this one go. Soth nods. The Baron begins to speak and Soth raises his hand. Not a word from you. You're a pretender. All of you are pretenders in this room.
Yeah, but I'm really good at it.
I'm not speaking of you. You and your two companions will never sit on the throne. You don't have it in you.
I'm more
For being a
interested in I'm more interested in killing undead than, sitting around giving orders.
Wait a minute, there's a throne?
The throne of Darkon.
Yeah, but I mean like the actual seat. What's it look like?
I've never raised Azrael's castle to find out. All our wars were on the border.
So why did you bring us here? To tell us that somebody amongst us is going to sit on this this seat.
Well, someone has to, otherwise everyone in the kingdom is going to die.
Thought you were into the chaos.
Chaos, yes, but when it's quiet, there's no chaos. It's just silence, and silence is deafening and maddening beyond chaos.
The anti-nihilist.
He bows. But I did want you to see all the players in play. This should be interesting now.
I'm gonna stand on the table.
Ooh, company. He skips back a couple steps.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Master Kaeviir the Professional. I slayed Lord Strahd. And I'll slay many more. And I'm gonna look at the guy that we killed before I leave this land. But if it has to have a leader, then make your plea, your petition to me, send a writer with I don't know, your request. And I'll decide who should be the next lead of Darkon.
You can hear some murmurs, and Draga just, that's not gonna work.
Didn't we kill you once?
Draga is
no,
Rayne's
not the
old
blood.
captain. Yeah.
Why is that not going to work? I don't want the seat. I'm the only fair person to make this judgment. I've been here before and I've seen many Dark Lords. I'm going to look directly at Kestrel. I remember killing them.
The older Water Ganase. Tis. Can anyone ever truly trust a professional?
No. But since nobody can trust me, then it's even. It's fair.
No one in this room trusts anyone in this room.
Right, but I'm the only one who doesn't want it. Who has killed a Dark Lord before. Closely acquainted with all of these interactions. Plus,
you are in a club of them, but you're not the only one in the room.
That's killed a Dark Lord?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at Soth. Question mark?
he gives you a nod.
Nice.
And then he points at Midnight.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's interesting. Sorry, man.
Midnight's like, Soth. He nods.
Well, feel free to deny a petition, to not send one in, but when I make my judgment and your name is not on the final list, that will be your own deciding. I leave it in your capable hands. I'm sure that as a ruler, you are wise enough to take this opportunity in hand. Soth, expect your letter very soon. Don't deliver it in person, writer only. That's a rule.
He nods.
All right, so you guys can keep talking if you want. I think I'm done here. I'm gonna put my cigarillo back in and just kind of start walking off. Lean against one of the posts. It's important to play like you're in charge. I mean, because if they deny that you're in charge, then you're in the same boat you're in at the beginning. But if someone buys it, look, if one person sends a petition and we agree, and anyone else who didn't send a petition, wouldn't that be awkward for them to have literally all it takes is you to write a letter? Nobody will even know you did it. Right?
Dear Kaeviir, when I grow up, I want to be Dark Lord. Here's why.
But here's my thing, though, is that
it's like class president speech is incoming.
Think about how interesting it'll be. Like, because right now it seems silly what I just said, right? But somebody's looking for a person to have their side. To be a king, you need supporters. No matter how small or insignificant it might seem, a person backing your claim gives you authority. And that person having killed Strahd is a nice plus, right? The professional who killed Lord Strahd has backed my claim to the throne of Darkon. That's nice. You put that right up at the top, right on your LinkedIn account.
But you are making the assumption that you're the only one that doesn't want the seat. Right?
Yeah, but they're not going to send a petition anyway if someone else doesn't want the seat. What they can for sure say is that I am uniquely a person who is here, who is ageless. I've been around for a long fucking time, right? I have no connection to this land or any other, really. I have no allegiances to any of these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Kess isn't going to take it. Adri's not going to take it. Fucking, you're not going to take it, I don't think. Maybe you'd take it. I don't know you super well, but it seems to me like you wouldn't.
Okay.
And out of the other people, like Soth, maybe, but my thing is that if even one person sends a request,
Mhm.
right? Thinking making ally with us would give them a higher claim, then every other person has to assume that if any of them would send one, then they should as well, because God forbid they miss out on the opportunity to expand their claim, right?
Yeah.
Think about like in royal times, right? You have 3 people, 5 people wanting to be king. All of them have a claim to it, right? Somebody has to pick up the first follower. Someone's got to win Iowa, right? The person who wins Iowa gets a massive leg up for all of the support and everything. Oh, this big name signed with this person. They co-signed him. Here comes some more support. It's like a snowball.
Right.
This is politics, baby. I'm good at this.
Darkurius tries to step forward in front of everyone, proclaiming the original. He is the original. He is the true king of Darkon. The domain was his.
Ah, yes. The
And
original, offed by a 12-year-old and his friends. Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism. We really appreciate you coming in and listening. We also really appreciate all the people who support our Patreon. By supporting the Patreon, you're going to get behind the scene uncut clips that you'll get to see sort of like maybe the tissue behind some of the edited, cleaned up content. And you'll get that whenever we have a big block of it to drop, as well as any updates or any information behind the scenes stuff that we think the Patreons would like to know. So if you'd like to support our Patreon and help us continue making the high quality, high octane podcast that you've come to expect, go ahead to patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Thank you. And as usual, the invoice is in the mail. That was a yawn.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
guys.
sympathize with you on that one.
I got an hour of sleep the other day for like my power nap, and I got 4 hours today. So I think I'm gonna be all right. I think I'll be okay for this. If I start to doze, I don't know, do a thing.
Okay. Trying out that whole new elf schedule there, huh? 4
Man,
hours.
well, it's not. They don't sleep actually. Man.
Well,
It's true. Yeah.
It's true. That's what I've heard anyway.
Oh, you know what's crazy? When I woke up from my 4 hours, right? My fucking watch had an active phone call on it. Right. It was like a phone call that had come through, and I guess I had bumped it with my wrist or something like that while I was sleeping. And it was just they were talking to me through my watch.
What?
And they were like, "Hello? Are you there?" And it was like one of those fucking like robocalls with like an actual person on the other line. Like an actual person, not like a robot, like a person. And I was just sitting there like asleep while they were talking to me. And I'm like, this might have been, if I had not woken up, it would have been the best fucking robocall ever. Yeah, I don't think I answered it. I think I just kind of bumped it, but
yeah.
Yeah, it was like, talk about wasting your time.
Yeah. Did he answer the phone? I don't know, but it sounds like he's scratching his ass right now. I don't understand.
I hold my wrist over by my butt, just fart.
Yeah.